feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride
I
no
don't know if you guys, we'll probably talk about him a little bit later, even more. But Tyler, the Creator, he dropped as well on Instagram. So somebody's going to bring that up to say, yo, how come y'all top 20, top 30 acts, like 4 of them, are dropping via Instagram? Why aren't, like, they're dropping, like Tyler, the Creator, like, I've actually given an entire prediction on what I think his album is going to do. I think he's going to do at least $250,000 to 300,000. I think on the upper end, he'll do about 350,000. He's dropping a project, I believe, on the 28th. Am I wrong about that? Let me just confirm. No, it might be the 25th. Let me see, when does Tyler, the Creator drop? We could Google it right now. When does Tyler, the Creator drop? He's dropping the 28th. Oh, actually, yeah, that's another thing too, right? So he's dropping on a Monday, which goes against how the music industry and how DSPs usually, like, ingest some of this material, and even how they make these playlists and how they put these plans together to promote the new releases. They promote the new releases for Friday at midnight, East Coast time. So Friday at midnight, East Coast time, that's really the start of the new week. That's how Luminate tracks it. That's all how all measuring metric companies. Is my audio low? Oh, I apologize. I probably just got to put the mic a little bit closer to my mouth. No, Diddy. Okay, what happened here? Okay. Let me just make sure all right. If I'm still a bit low, let me know. I can turn this up a bit. Actually, let me just turn it up a bit now. All right. So essentially, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so he's dropping on a Monday, and we're just watching artists, and I'm not sure if they're going under the direction of maybe management, or maybe there's a larger conglomerate instructing all of them to do so, or maybe, who knows, maybe Drake just started a trend. The first time we saw any of this was, and correct me if I'm wrong, was TaylorMade Freestyle. He just uploaded via Instagram, right? And obviously we've seen, subsequently he's uploaded another track, which was Buried Alive. Then he uploaded the 3-pack, but we also saw he has a 100-gig website. Kendrick uploaded, like, Watch the Party Dies. Then we're watching, we watched J. Cole upload, what was the name of the track? I forgot the name of the track. Jesus Christ, but the track he's addressing Kendrick and Drake. Then we're watching Tyler, the Creator. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that Tyler, the Creator, I've kind of gave a prediction already. The range that I got him in is at least 250. The top end is going to be 350. So between 250 and 350. If he does anything outside of that range, something is going on, or I would have to probably just, recalculate how I do my predictions on what I think his buzz is. I think he has a tremendous buzz. He's a guy who doesn't drop a lot. I think his rollout is usually very brief, succinct, but calculated and creative, and also captures the eyes, ears, and attention of many people. And yes, he came out with this. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer, but this is a trailer. I'll play it real quick. Here we go. Some scary something mask. Now, keep in mind, he's dropping, and I guess as we were thinking about why is he dropping on that date, number one, I think he's also mentioned, there's a conversation we'll get to. I'll look it up in the background while this is playing. I think he's also mentioned rejecting some of the industry norms, which, again, the entire industry, I could give you a long spiel of why they moved from the music used to drop on Tuesdays. It moved to Fridays. The reason why it moved there, it was a very calculated, mostly technological way of how music could be measured, and they wanted to standardize it across the world. Music used to drop on different days throughout the world. The industry wanted to treat the world like the USA, and they wanted to look at the global markets and the domestic markets at the same time, so they standardized the time at a even time among both. A little bit longer story, but I'll spare you that for now. But I think the 10/28, which that's when he's dropping, is intentional. Obviously, we know that's going to be Halloween. Look at the decorations behind me, right? Like, Halloween's a huge. I was born in Jamaica, so, like, we don't got Halloween there. But, like, anybody I've ever dated or anybody who I know who's American or, like, was born here and they grew up on it. Like, by the way, I came over here when I was, like, 10, 11. So, like, I was never the person who dressed up like that anyway. But it's a huge thing in terms of consumerism. People spend a lot of money. I think even around my way, people, Party City turns into, like, Halloween City. Like, they just change the name of the whole fucking store, because it's a huge opportunity where people buy a lot of candy, people buy costumes. It's a place where people spend a lot of money. And if you realize about a capitalistic country like the United States. But if I'm speaking fast, trust me, I'm not on Adderall, nothing like that. I'm just, this is what you get when act don't get too drunk too early. Okay, I speak fast, get the points out, but don't worry. By the time we're 4 hours in, I'll start to just straight do jokes. Anyway, so this is a good play by dropping on Halloween. Halloween is a time, again, historically, that is based around consumerism, whether you want to believe in ghosts or whatever, who cares? So him dropping on that time is dope, but him not dropping on the Friday before it is probably, some people are going to say he's going to miss out on streams and sales, because the tracking week does start on Friday, and he's going to be dropping 2.5 days later. So, or 3 days later, damn near. So we'll see how that turns out. I still think he's going to sell over 250,000, just because I think Tyler, the Creator, is an amazing artist, not only in creating a thematic album, and all of his album, from the Garden Boy album and the other one where he was with the briefcase, he knows how to create thematic albums that bring you into a character that he's doing. Now, I guess I said all that to say this mask he has on, is this like some Leatherface shit? Like, I don't know. I think it's meant to play a little bit off Halloween. I think the album's called like Scent Chromo. Like, I don't really get it fully yet. Somebody said that's the Diddy mask. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Anyway, okay. So again, I'm sorry for pausing it, but again, you guys could go watch it on his Instagram if you want to see it in full. This creativity, there's a few artists that I believe, you guys name them. I'm gonna name the ones I think that come to mind. Artists that are this creative. Kendrick is in that mix, right? Where you always see some super creative shit when they're announcing some stuff, right? It just seems like there's almost a deeper meaning than just the music or the melodies and the harmony we're about to hear with the songs. Feels like there's almost like a theme behind it, this and third. I think Tyler, the Creator, does an amazing job doing that. Kendrick does an amazing job doing that. Who else does? Oh, Ye does a fucking amazing job. Shit, we don't even have to mention Ye. Like, Ye's the godfather of all of these niggas. Like, and I mean that very respectfully. Right, but yeah, okay, those people are. I'm Danny Glover. Yeah. I'll give that to my boy Childish Gambino as well. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, cool. All right, let's just do a song, or it's like what do you call it again? Maybe like an interlude or something like that. But sounds kind of jamming.
I'm gonna make it out. Promise I'm gonna make it out. Mama, I'm gonna make it out. Pussy, I'm gonna make it out. I ain't never had it.
Okay, so I'm guessing the album's called Chromacopia. And by the way, I want to give some light to this, this Tyler album, just because I think the rest of the artists in the game have to realize we're in a time where you're competing with everybody for attention and eyes. So you're competing with streamers. I've said this before. A rapper is competing with a streamer and competing with a YouTuber at this damn point. You're competing with a TikToker and somebody else who's making whatever content. We have to get creativity back into music. Because if music is just easily understood as, is it hot or not? Like, again, what people like Tyler do, they turn their music art into something like a movie where it's almost like it's scoring or giving a soundtrack to that. It enriches the music so much. And I know we've talked about, and by the way, will remind me to explain why I think that the sales metric and how we weight sales these days should change, because there's too many people selling 20K. So I do think it should change. But artists do want to come out. You see a lot of artists saying, oh, music's not selling. Well, y'all putting it's low effort shit. You know what I mean? Most of y'all aren't putting much effort into the music. And wait till y'all get to, because I do have a part of a Warner call that I'm going to play for y'all. They literally said they don't give a fuck about people's new music. Well, then they don't say they don't give a fuck, but they're like, when artists drop new music, we care about it because it turns up their catalog usually by a factor of 2. So when you drop new music, the reason why they're not even spending too much to promote the new music is that it automatically gives twice the visibility to the old catalog, which they own more of the old catalog. It's like a whole shit. So anyway, I guess I'm really trying to give Tyler the props here by saying, for all the artists, and I don't care if you're talking about the Sexy Reds or whatever, like, y'all gotta make y'all art be a little bit more, not necessarily cinematic, but a little bit more interesting than just what you're saying. If y'all really care about sales, right? Because that's part of being an artist. An artist is not someone who just verbally conceptualizes an idea and puts it with harmony, but you actually conceptualize an entire world around the music that is the actual plot and play. And this is why, this is why I'm saying Tyler, the Creator, is going to do 250, even though he's going to drop on a short week. And then, it looks like this is going to be the album cover. Don't know if it's the album cover because we don't see the, that parent label warning. But it says Chromacopia, all songs written, produced, and arranged by Tyler. I guess that's his real last name, Tyler, the Creator. Okay. Don't know what type of mask this is, but yeah, makes sense him dropping on Halloween. I'll mute this because I think this is now some music. But yeah, I think this is a song. And then, 3 hours ago, I think he dropped another song. Is it another song? Let me see. The funny thing is, like, even the trailer, like, all of this looks like the intro to like a scary movie that we've all watched, right? Like this weird guy, and now for the rest of the movie, we're trying to figure out what's his story, how is he this fucking weird, and then who interacts with them, right? That's pretty much like the, these movies where people get stranded in the desert, go to a hotel, and there's a weird guy who tries to kill him or some shit. So I'm interested, right? Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to do some numbers, people. All right. Look, he just posted 3 hours ago here, 1 million likes. And by the way, I wouldn't be surprised if Instagram weren't talking to these guys like labels or talking to these guys' management teams. Instagram is not stupid. They know what's going on. They know that they have a tentative, well, not tentative, they have a temporary deal currently with a Universal Music Group that incentivizes them. By the way, if you don't know this, Instagram, they have openly admitted that they're pushing the thing that's going to get the most engagements. So if you're an Instagram like creator right now, you want to get the most engagement on a post, put a song over it. They're incentivized to push that more than you just talking or you doing anything else. Why? Oh, well, they're trying to get the music companies to fuck with them a little bit more. So, again, if that's what they want to do and they're incentivizing by giving more reach to even regular creators, what do you think they're probably doing to these music companies or these label people who are probably saying to them, yo, we're going to just drop, like, Tyler's going to drop 2 songs on your platform, not YouTube, nowhere else. He's dropping on your platform for the promo for his album. Like, the reach on these are going to be crazy. 3 hours, 1 million likes. You see the comments going through the ass. Pause. This one, 40,000, 2 point whatever likes. And I'm pretty sure if we can see the views, but I don't think we can see the views. It's probably like out of this world. They're pushing this shit. And by the way, I know they're pushing this shit. You get what I'm saying? As I said, like, we're still having platform wars just in different forms. I don't know if I ever give you out a story. I've had and I've maintained a brand on Instagram for years. By the way, now I'm locked in with Instagram. I have reps there, like we talk. But before then, you know how the very first time I ever spoke to Instagram, it was this. 6ix9ine gets out of jail and he's about to do his million stream. Like that first, like when he goes live and he has 1 million people, he announces that he's going to go live. Instagram realizes it's going to break the fucking, like, it's just going to be the biggest Instagram live stream at that point. Because remember, they were pushing Instagram Live. Remember, 6ix9ine could have went on Twitch. He could have went on YouTube. He picked Instagram. Instagram hits up 6ix9ine and hits up his label, right? Which ironically is ran by Elliot Grange, who now controls all of Atlantic and pretty much half of Warner. But they hit him up and they say, hey, check this out. We understand your artist, who's like everybody wants to hear from, is about to go live on our platform tonight. We understand that he wants to have guests in this and third. We don't want to be embarrassed where it's buffering a bunch and like it looks like shit. We want to work with him to make sure it's the best viewing experience. Matter of fact, we're putting his account. This is facts, I'm telling you. We're putting his account, and I've never heard these things before, but you get to realize, like, as much as like Illuminati as you think like Instagram and Google are or whoever, they know what's going on. They put 6ix9ine's account on like a special it was him going live was going to be on a special server that nobody else was on. That when a million people tuned in, it wasn't going to just fucking crash, right? Because usually they have a bunch of people on whatever servers. I don't know how shit works, but like nobody's getting a million people watching, right? So they do that. They tell them to get a specific phone, which was like, it was very specific. I won't even tell you what phone. It's like, get this phone, this version. We're going to send you the download, a special download of the app. Get this, right? And then they asked him, they said, who are you bringing on with you on this? He named me. I was one of the people. That's how I first talked to them, right? Because they hit me up and they're like, hey, we want to make sure everything is good on your end too. What phone do you have? Blah, blah, blah. Asked me a bunch of questions. They walked me through a bunch of stuff. And I was like, God damn it. I've been using goddamn Instagram for 10 years. Y'all have never, ever talked to me like this before. But they cared. They did the same with Nikki, because I think he brought Nikki on. They made sure, like, yo, it had to be right. So I'm telling you that info to say if they did that for that, it was a big moment for them, for their brand of promoting Instagram Live. You think all these niggas is dropping music on Instagram and they're like, oh, no, we don't give a fuck. No, hell no. They're speaking it behind the scenes, right? Obviously, I don't know. If I knew, I would tell you. But I don't have anybody in Tyler's camp. Speaking to them, they'll be like, okay, cool, you're going to drop a song, whatever. All right, cool, we're going to make sure we push this shit like it's no other, right? Why? It's going to benefit them later when they're renegotiating with Universal Music Group. Just a little tidbit if you care. All right. Very interesting. I feel like I just did a topic as an intro, so we're good. We'll move off of that. Shout out to Tyler, the Creator. He is dropping his album on 10/28. I'm definitely excited to see how it goes. Not only for multiple different reasons, for the promotional strategy, for him dropping on Monday, and also where he's at in his career with, he's always dropped these thematic albums. So we'll see how all that goes. All right. Okay, people, beyond that, there's a bunch of other stuff happening and going down in the sphere. Okay. We're going to be talking about Diddy. A lot of Diddy news today. Some people are hypothesizing that Diddy might be snitching. Okay. And cooperating because it appears that the same district that, has taken him down for sex trafficking has now taken down another CEO and someone else that's really big in the game for sex trafficking as well. Actually, this is pretty interesting and kind of alarming because for all the conspiracy theories that were like, nah, Diddy and people think about Diddy and you'll see them try to connect some loose things to Epstein and you start hearing some names and, for me, like I'll tolerate you kind of like building off that theory for a little bit before I'm like, yo, you're Jaguar writing this shit right now. Like you're just saying anything. But this new arrest is going to kind of make those people seem like maybe they're not that crazy because we're seeing another CEO and some really powerful people get exposed for having a sex trafficking ring. And people are wondering, did Diddy offer up some names? Real talk, okay? We'll talk about that. Diddy's family has came out. Some people say, yo, we are Diddy'd out. Okay, pause on the Diddy'd out. So there's 5 new lawsuits as well. We have all 5 lawsuits from new Jane Does. All of them are coming from the Tony Busby law firm. Remember, he said he had 120 people that he thought were going to be potential and serious plaintiffs. He's filed officially now 11 of those. Okay, so 6 came last week and looked like he's dropping them every week, right? He dropped 6 last week. Yesterday, Monday, he dropped 5. So we'll read into that really quick and to see what's going on with that. We have the West Coast Savior, Kendrick Lamar. He's finally spoke on Not Like Us. And it's kind of interesting because there's an interesting mix of reaction to what he had to say. But we're going to break it down. Shout out to Kendrick, but this shit's hilarious. Liam Payne. Is that his name? Liam Payne? Is his last name Payne? Liam? Guy from One Direction, the one who died. They officially found pink cocaine in the system. Polo G, he got arrested for having a gun. Very ironic. Remember I told you about me interviewing Polo G and me talking about his case that he called in New York where they found a gun in his room. And I was like, hey, bro, you're up a lot of millions of dollars. Maybe you want to move a little bit different. You know, has that arrest taught you anything? Like, you should move a little bit different, maybe get some more security. Like, I was trying to hint to him, like, get somebody else to hold the gun. Like, I was trying to hint to him, and he looked me dead in the face, and he said, I said, do you think you would probably change how you move in the future? He looked me dead in the face and said, no. Well, he's been arrested again for having a gun, this time in San Bernardino, California. Okay, all right. We'll get into that. Hood Go Yayo. He's responding to a couple of things I said, but he's continuing his beef with Sauce Walker and Lil CJ. Shout out to my people from Texas. We have a few other topics, not that serious. Sneeko getting rebanned. The ADL kind of stepping in. They're putting their foot down against certain streamers. You know, Sneeko, Fresh and Fit. There's some other people who are, you know, saying some things that they deem either anti-Semitic or just so offensive they shouldn't be platformed. Twitch specifically, which, by the way, we are live now on Twitch, they're putting their foot down too, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Dre is celebrating the new contract for her boo, Jalen Green, and I got a whole thing on that. I got to wait till I'm drunk for that one because it's not that serious. It's just I got mad jokes. I ain't gonna hold you. Donald Trump, and I ain't gonna lie, I think I might have to do this one first. Like, let's start off with a little bit jokes before we get to the serious shit, because I got jokes later too, but let's keep the jokes going on throughout. All right. If you're having a good Tuesday, man, hopefully I can help you get through your workday if you're driving for Amazon, if you're driving across country. Hope you guys could keep tuned in, and hopefully I could get you to wherever you're going safely and make sure you have a good time. All right. Let's lock in. All right. So, chat, I'm not going to lie to you. Yo, didn't I tell y'all? I told y'all this specifically. I said, yo,